Thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Look, is age a factor for TDIU? That's the question. So total disability individual unemployability, TDIU, is a fantastic benefit from the VA. Now, you may be rated at 60, 70, 80, 90% and trying to figure out a way to get to your 100% rating. This may be the way, but a lot of people will self-segregate out of this fantastic benefit thinking that this is not something that they would qualify for, maybe because of age. And that's simply not true. So let's throw out this scenario. You're getting older and you're looking to stop working. You're looking to retire because you just can't do it anymore. And it's just too taxing. And if part of that equation is due to your service-connected disabilities, then you're probably got a good chance at qualifying and getting approved for TDIU. So with that, let's talk about how you can make 100% VA rating, payment-wise, part of your retirement plan, essentially, right? If you can't work and you need to retire because of your disabilities, then you should absolutely look at TDIU if you are not 100% rated. TDIU, total disability, individual unemployability with the VA, will pay you out at 100% at your VA rating schedule. So if you were married with no dependent children, just for an example, and no dependent parents, just you and your spouse, today, now that's going to change with COLA here in a few months, but today you'd be looking at $3,823.89 per month. That is a lot more than if you were at 90%, which is $2,353, or 80%, $2,094, or 70%, $1,800, right? So this is a very important benefit, and I want to jump into it, talk to you a little bit about it, read to you directly from the VA's website. And again, I'm going to preface it with age is not a factor, and I'll give you a quick little story. Hit the thumbs up for me, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. It helps to put this information into the hands of those that need it. And look, you may need it not today, but tomorrow, and that's good too, because at least it's something that you're going to have in the back of your mind. Okay. If you're not a member, consider joining. It helps the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all you members. All right. So, VA total disability individual unemployability. How does it work? I'm going to read to you directly from the VA's website. And before I do that, I'm going to give you a quick story. I have a buddy of mine. He was in his 70s. Okay. In his 70s, files for VA, gets an 80%. Awesome. Straight out the gate, 80%, couple conditions. And I can't remember exactly how it worked out. Maybe it was a 70% for PTSD and 10% for something else and a 0% for something else. But altogether, sitting at 80%. Then we go, look, you're not working anymore because your conditions really aren't conducive of work, right? And whatever your story is, maybe you have PTSD and you don't like your coworkers, you don't like to be told what to do, you don't like the stress, it's just too much. Okay, well then maybe you should be looking at TDIU, right? So whatever your story is, anyway, we file for TDIU, several months go by, bam, we're approved for TDIU, paid down at 100%. So it's a great benefit, and you know, he was in his mid-70s, so is age a factor? No, it would be discriminatory, right? You'd be discriminated against for your age. So just because you're 60-something, 70-something, 80-something years old doesn't mean you can't work. I mean, walk into a Target or a Walmart, you see people of every age working. And I throw out those places because they have a lot of employees, right? Versus walking into a Starbucks, which has 6 people working. So anyway, let's jump into it here. VA individual unemployability if you can't work. If you can't work because of a disability related to your service in the military, a service-connected disability. This is the first nugget, right? I talk about finding nuggets in the things that I read. The first nugget is you must tie your reasoning for not working to the fact of your service-connected disability, right? So it can't be because I don't feel like it. It can't be because of something else. It has to be tied to your service-connected disability, right? You may qualify for what's called individual unemployability. This means you may be able to get disability compensation or benefits at the same level as a veteran who has 100% disability rating. Am I eligible for disability benefits from the VA? Both of these must be true for this specific benefit. And look, TDIU may be a new VA benefit for you. You may have never even heard of it. You may not know about it, and here you go, right? So both of these must be true. You have at least one service-connected disability rated at 60% or more disabling, okay? Or, and now there's an or. Now here's the thing with VA stuff. They're going to throw in, it's very legalese, so there's a lot of ors, or there's a lot of ands. So ands mean you have to have both, and ors mean either or, right? Sometimes we read through things real fast and we will combine ors and think we need to have it all. That's not the case. So or is a separator, right? So you can have one, if you have one service-connected disability at 60%, good. Or if you don't have that, then you would have to have two or more service-connected disabilities with at least one rated at 40%. And your total combined rating must be 70% or higher. So if you have one rating at 60%, and then it doesn't matter about anything else, right? You could have 15 zeros and a 160, or you could have a 60 and 3 10s. It doesn't really matter. As long as you have one at 60, you're golden. Or if you don't have one at 60, you have a combined rating of 70% or higher, so a 70, 80, or 90% rating, and at least one of your conditions is rated at 40%. So that's a pretty good threshold to get into this benefit, okay? So that is the service-connected piece. Now the second piece that must be true is you, where's my camera? You cannot hold down a steady job that supports you financially, known as substantially gainful employment, because of your service-connected disability or disabilities, right? Odd jobs or marginal employment don't count. Just a nice little side note there that you could, take a little odd job here or there and have a little bit of money coming in. In certain cases, for example, if you need to be in the hospital often, you may qualify at a lower disability rating. So remember, the one rating at 60% or multiple ratings with a combined 70 or higher with one at 40%, if you're less than those, you still may have an avenue, an opportunity to get into this benefit. Now, what kind of benefits can you get? Well, look, for most people, you're already service connected, right? So you already understand healthcare and compensation payments. Now, the change would be your compensation payments would go up drastically. Everybody should understand how drastic it jumps when it changes from 90 to 100, right? Or 70 to 100, 80 to 100, whatever. There's a big jump. So how do you get these benefits? You'll need to file a claim for disability compensation. When you file the claim, you'll have to provide evidence like supporting documents from your doctor, medical tests, so on and so forth, showing that your disability prevents you from holding down a steady job. We'll also review your work history and education. You'll basically fill out like a resume, right? My last job was whenever, and go from there. Example, they have an example here. A veteran has a service-connected heart condition at 60% disability rating. She was still able to work until last year when she began to get chest pain when doing anything physical like walking or lifting boxes. Her doctor told her to retire as soon as possible. She filed a claim for more disability compensation. We reviewed her work and education history and agreed that she was individually unemployable because of her service-connected disability, that heart condition, one condition at 60%. So we increased her disability compensation to the same rate as a 100% rated disability. And a side note, your permanent and your TDIU, total disability individual unemployability, can become permanent and total as well. And you'll have all those same benefits. When you file a disability claim, you'll need to also fill out these additional forms for individual unemployability benefits. And that is the veteran's application for increased compensation based on individual unemployability. And that's VA Form 21-8940. 21-8940. And then a request for employment information in connection with the claim for disability benefits, which is VA Form 21-4192. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.